So I am going to present on mental health and addiction volunteers across Prince Edward Island. So I am going to bring up my uh, screen here. I hope you can see it. Can you see the screen?
Not right now. I can share it for you if that would
Yes, that would be
work.
great.
Okay,
If you
perfect.
don't mind, that would be fantastic. Okay. Wonderful. So again, my name is Sherry Lanigan, and I'm the volunteer coordinator for mental health and addictions in PEI. And I facultate and oversee all the different locations from tip to tip of the island. And the volunteers are suited to different locations across the board. So next. Can I actually click it or no? You have to.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay, sure. So the agenda in this presentation is just an introduction to mental health, primary goals of our service, and my role as the coordinator. Why volunteer and why should you volunteer in mental health, and what may you do in your roles, and steps to begin, and just the summary. So next. So basically just our introduction to mental health. Our motto is to provide hope, help, and strength. And our mission statement is mental health and addictions is a welcoming recovery-based treatment service where individuals and their families can find hope, help, and strength. Next. Next, please. So our values are caring, integrity, and excellence. We treat everybody with compassion, respect, fairness, and dignity. Integrity, we collaborate in an environment of trust, communicate with openness and honesty, and are accountable through responsible decision-making. Excellence, we pursue continuous quality improvement through innovation, integration, and the adaptation of evidence-based practices. So just so that you know, we are in a real prime time in mental health and addictions right now. There is a lot of new things happening, including a huge new campus that is in the process of being built. So we are always striving to innovate and improve what we already have. And we very much value confidentiality and honesty in our profession. Next. So for me, myself, as I said, I'm Sherry Lanigan, and my background is in management, optical, and psychology. My position is the volunteer coordinator for mental health and addictions across PEI. So I oversee the mental and addiction services programs all over, and I serve as a bridge that connects volunteers with staff and patients and support the growth and effectiveness of volunteer contributions. So volunteers in mental health and addictions is a very new development, actually. I first started this position only about 8 months ago. And at the time, there was 3 or 4 current volunteers. Now, after the last 3 or 4 months of recruitment, I'm at about 37 active volunteers, which is fantastic. So some of my primary responsibilities are recruitment, of course, interviews, reference checks, orientation, tour of facilities, scheduling, provide appropriate education and information to volunteers, continue dialogue with all mental health and addiction facilities and volunteers across PEI, and look for ways that volunteers can help and be involved. I also evaluate the effectiveness of services of volunteers. I organize events for patients and staff and volunteers. An example would be we're holding a Christmas party on the 19th for the patients here at Hillsborough, which is where my office is located, Hillsborough Hospital. I hold annual dinner of appreciation for my volunteers. I provide references and holiday parties. Next. So why volunteer? So everyone volunteers obviously for different reasons. I do have a lot of UPEI students that are currently volunteering, and it seems to be growing all the time, which is fantastic. So a lot of the times benefits are such as gaining a sense of personal fulfillment and appreciation for what others may be experiencing, opportunity to fulfill your passions and use your skills and talents to help make a positive impact on the lives of others, gain knowledge about the dynamics of mental health and addiction services. It may be useful in your education and future career development. I have a lot of individuals in psychology or interested in the clinical side of health that are volunteers. Recognition, reference letter to support applications to higher education and employment. Work toward goals of hours of service. So you're recognized at different hours of service, so 500, 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. Meet new people, including staff and other volunteers. Recruitment is also, a huge benefit of volunteering. Take part in fun activities and award dinners, and make connections for future employment. Next. So when I say there's many opportunities, there are. There's many locations that I do oversee for volunteers on PEI, and I will just list a few of them. So my office is based out of Hillsborough Hospital. So as soon as you come into the main doors of Hillsborough, there is the security desk. I'm right beside there. So if anyone ever wanted to drop in and say hi, if I'm here, I do travel around the island, but if I'm here, stop in anytime. You're always welcomed. And I do apologize if there is any sound outside my office because it is a busy location. We do have different units at Hillsborough Hospital. We have the acute care psychiatric unit. We have geriatrics, which is the older folks. We do have a child and youth unit. We have a pre-discharge unit, and we also have safe and secure. The QEH, I also am responsible for the specialized care psychiatric unit for volunteers. PCH, which is in Summerside, is the inpatient mental health unit. We have transition houses, which is recovery homes. Lacey, which is female-based. Talbot, which is males. And St. Eleanor's House, which is in Summerside, which is males as well. We also have a strength program, which is fantastic. It's for child and youth up to 24. I've heard that we've actually had 14-year-olds at that location, but typically it's 15 to 24. We have Brackley Stables, which is another fantastic location. It's in Charlottetown for mental health recovery. We have CCRB, which is we have a small options, which is CCRB based clients normally. We have a school well-being team. We have occupational stress injury, which is more to do with veterans and anything that's more occupational based for mental health and illness. And then we have the Serene View Ranch. So I know there's a lot of places. I do apologize, but it's just to give you a quick overview. And just a little tidbit, remember that 1 in 4 individuals suffer from a mental illness. Next. So there's lots of different duties that volunteers can take part of. They are truly, truly appreciated and valued. Mental health and addiction is a common topic in PEI, and the more hands and the more help that we have, the better. So companionship is kind of a number one for volunteers, just being there, just have a listening ear, playing a game of cards, playing Scrabble, just being present is really, really important, because although our fantastic healthcare workers want to be more present, they're very busy. So this allows the patients to get a little bit more one-on-one, and it really, really breaks down the stigma um, of what mental health and addictions facilities are like, and really opened your eyes to the different possibilities of employment for sure. So the other different duties would be accompany patients to appointments within the facility. You'd never leave the facility. Some are like a lockdown facility, such as Hillsborough. Assist in recreational activities, so reading, tutoring, teaching computer, resume building. I do a lot of work with the occupational therapy department. So that's a really fun department. They go for walks and they do music therapy, and pet therapy is hopefully coming back. A lot of crafts, a lot of guitar playing, music, just fun stuff. We also have a spiritual care unit, where we have a pastor that comes in on different days. That's another opportunity to be involved in that. We have research projects. We have programming. Other areas improved by mental health and addiction services. So people come to me all the time and say, "Oh, do you have somebody for this?" And it's wide open. There's so many different opportunities. Okay, next. So just wanted to say I'm absolutely thrilled that you're possibly considering volunteering. This is just there is a process to volunteer, but anyone can volunteer. So we complete application, do some reference and criminal checks, and definitely get you all suited orientation, confidentiality, education. And next. I know we're running out of time. So just to summarize, volunteering contributes to forming connections and builds relationships with patients and staff. Volunteers are being exposed to the reality of mental health and addictions and not the misconceptions. It brings a greater sense of understanding and empathy that can only help bring down stigma. Volunteers complement our services and are a key component in comprehensive health care delivery. If you need if you would like to get in contact with me, it's just Sherry Stewart. I am Sherry Lanigan now, but Sherry Stewart at 902-368-5482 or Sherry Stewart at ihis.org.